So we go ahead and we went over the different boxes between the iPhone 4 and previous generations. And so now what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and I want to go over the features of the design of the phone. So let's go ahead and let's do that now. So here is the beautiful iPhone 4. Okay. Before we go ahead and we flick the screen on or anything like that, we will you'll notice that it's glass on the front and the back. Okay, now this glass is supposed to be very strong to where if you were to drop it, it's not going to crack. It'll crack. I'm almost positive. If you feel this thing, it's got some weight to it, but it definitely it feels like it's fragile. So it's nothing that you want to test out. Aluminum all along the sides and the top there. Okay, it's all very nicely machined. You'll notice these little black lines here and on the sides here and here. The antenna is running through the entire top and sides here, and that was the problem, or that is the problem with the reception issues. So if you have the phone like this and you're holding it like so, okay, your fingers are blocking the antenna signal, and you're losing bars or dropping calls or whatever. And so that's the big issue right now with the iPhone 4 and reception. If we look at the side that does not have the buttons for the volume and the vibrate on them, you'll notice that they took the SIM card, if you can see this right here, and they moved it from the top to the side. Okay, just for design, I'm assuming it's because there's an antenna bar up top here. I'm not real too sure. If we move to the top, we see we still have the hold button. Okay, which kind of you can lock the phone with that, and then we also have our 3.5mm jack for headphones, or taking phone calls with the mic. If we flip it over, we have the side that does have the volume buttons, which have been switched from one solid button to a minus and a plus, so up and down, two separate buttons. That's a big feature for me because having the one button, I was constantly, hitting them, and the button just felt junky. Now I have two buttons; they're all aluminum. They feel really good. Up top, right here, we have the Vibrate button. Okay, so if you switch it over, you can see a little bit of orange. Now it's on Vibrate, and we switch it back. Every one of my iPhones previous to this one, the Vibrate button broke. What they did was they ended up going in there and fixing it, or giving me a new phone each time. But it's nice. It feels very sturdy, and it feels like it's not going to break on me. Okay, if we go to the back of the phone, we can see down here they have the FCC and all the regulations. The iPhone name itself, they have removed the size of the phone. So it used to say 8 or 16. This is a 32 gig phone. It says 32 nowhere on here, which is kind of good because I don't want people knowing that I have a 32 gig phone and then want to rip it off from me at the bar or something. If they see it laying down on the table or whatnot. You have the Apple logo, and then up here, this is one of the biggest features of the phone. This is the video camera that's that comes with it, records 720p, and then right next to the video camera, you can see a little dot. That is the flash. The flash is amazing. It's super bright, and if you do have the video camera on, you have the option to click it to on, and it'll stay on. It's definitely as bright as a flashlight, and it's a great flash. If we move to the front of the phone, okay, we have our speaker to listen, okay, and then we also have, let me see if I can pick it up on the camera here. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it right next there. I know this camera kind of sucks on here, but there is a front-facing camera, and so that enables the user to use FaceTime. You can kind of get it on there. It enables the user to use FaceTime, or just take photos with a friend. If you're standing next to each other, do one of those. Okay, and then at the bottom we still have our home button. Okay, which will light the phone up, get operating, and then on the very bottom we have our charge or sync area, and then we have a microphone and a speaker, for listening and talking. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn the phone on here. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this backwards. Okay, so there's our camera. So right now it's on video. Okay, now if I wanted to flip it, see the button right there, that would go ahead and that would flip it to front facing. So when I hit this button, it's actually going to start to record the the computer, because that's what it's facing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit that, and then you saw it flipped around, and now it's actually facing the camera. So if I back it out, you can see it's front facing camera. And so this is the camera that you would use for FaceTime. Now it does not, it's the resolution sucks on it and it's grainy, but it is front facing and it does work. Right now the FaceTime only works over Wi-Fi, but they said they are going to have an update for 3G very shortly. At the bottom we have our button to go ahead and select, and that'll show us our video that we're currently making or did make. Okay, and then over here we have a slider that'll slide over to just a camera to take photos. And once again, we still have our option up here to flip it around. And then over here, just like on the camera, if we press this, it'll pull up. I know it's hard to see. Oops. I know it's hard to see, but it actually, those are the options for our flash. I'm not going to mess with it. But it says auto or auto, off, or on. And so you can go ahead and choose whatever you think is best. And then you have your record button down there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the home button. I'm going to go back to the main screen. You can see that the wallpaper in the back stays just like was real popular when you would jailbreak your phone. So that stayed on there. Okay. And then what they also introduced were folders. So I have a folder set up here. I'm going to go ahead and click it, and it opens up, and it has whatever I put into that folder. And you can name the folder, which is very nice. So here's one for games. Go ahead, and I have some games in there. Okay. What they also did with the operating system, I'm not going to go over too much of this. I just really wanted to do a design thing. If you double click, it'll pull up on the bottom, and all our apps are open. Okay. And so there's really no loading time. Now if you go all the way over, what it does is you can control your iPod, okay, with the play and the fast forward and back. And it also has this button right here, which comes in handy. And what this button does is it locks the phone from going horizontal and then flipping the picture. Okay. I'm actually running low on time here. So one last thing I wanted to do, I just kind of wanted to compare it in size to the BlackBerry Bold and the 3G. So go ahead and lock it up here. And if you take a look, if you look at our BlackBerry Bold and you look at our iPhone side by side here, there you go, it's a better view. You can see how small the iPhone 4 truly is. Obviously the BlackBerry is a little lighter. This thing's pretty heavy. It feels good in your hand. It feels like a good phone. Let's go ahead and compare it to the 3G, which is busted, if anybody could see. Okay, and you can see this thing is definitely it's thinner because it doesn't have that rounded plastic back. A lot heavier. Once again, feels like a good phone. If it was up to me, I would get it. I wouldn't wait too long because I don't think that they're going to be able to do any design changes to fix this or whatever it is for the antenna problem. I haven't noticed too big of a problem, even when I don't have a lot of bars because of the holding it the wrong way. I'm not dropping calls, so it's no big deal to me. Apple did say that even if you have low bars, it may be connecting to an antenna that is better and you could have a better reception. I haven't had any drop calls, so I'm not really worried about it. If you can get your hands on one, get one. If not, if you're waiting to get the white one, maybe they'll come out with something at that point. But for me, this was something that I was looking forward to, and I'm enjoying it so far. All right, there's the review of the iPhone 4.